Let's talk a little bit about Texas.
Okay.
What is it, Stevie Ray, about Texas that you think makes it such a breeding ground for such great music?
The dirt.
The dirt.
No, there's been a lot of influences come from there because there's been a lot of growing going on. All these years, there's been. It's like a place where people went to try to form a standing ground. It's been that all along, for every walk of people that's been there.
When you think of Texas, what is the first thing you think about?
Mexican food.
Where's your favorite place to eat Mexican food?
Oh, they're all over the place. Right now, I haven't been there in so long that I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
When you're out on the road, and you are out on the road a lot, what is it that you miss the most other than Mexican food?
My wife is one of the main things. My house, my dog. No, that's only because that's very private. There's a place called Antone's that I cannot live without very long. It's not uncommon on a Monday night to go in and see Buddy Guy, Mel Brown. It's incredible. You can go in and see. I've seen Albert Collins, Albert King at the same time there. You can go in and they take up the drinks at 2 o'clock, but then the music goes on until when they close. That Sam's Barbecue. Sam's Barbecue is the most incredible barbecue in the world. I told them I was going to do a TV commercial. They don't know about it yet. This place, their motto is, we open all night and most of the day. That is their motto, and it's real.
So, and Anton's and Sam's Barbecue?
Hello, Irma.
Anton's and Sam's Barbecue are both where?
They're both in Austin. One's on Guadalupe, one's on the east side.
And how long have you lived in Austin?
I've lived there since New Year's Eve of '72.
Why'd you move down?
Because I wanted to. I went down there, but in Dallas at the time, and still, it's pretty much still this way, not quite as bad. They used to hand you a list of songs, top 40 songs. If you didn't play those songs, you didn't have a gig. Unless you played the Cellar or somewhere, which was just waiting time. In Austin, you get the chance to play what you want to play. People accept it. That's why we all really moved to Austin.
Inevitably, whenever you talk to somebody about Texas and you ask them what their favorite city is, it's always Austin.
Yeah.
How come?
Well, Austin's one of the few places that's still not completely money. It's got hills, it's got lakes, it's got people. Granted, it's got a little Peyton place going on, but doesn't every place. Austin's still not commercialized to the point where it's just all fashion. You know, it's not all JR. It's still a place to live where there's people that treat each other like that.
Let's talk a little bit about the new music that's going on in Austin right now. It seems to be getting a lot of press. It seems to be being talked about a whole lot. What are some of the new bands that are in Austin now that you're aware of and are listening to and watching?
Well, there's bands like Angela Straley and her band. She's incredible. She's like a soul singer, soul and blues singer. But these people have been, as we say, new music. It's been there for years and years and years and years. It's just now starting to be recognized a little better. There's Luann Barton's got a new band. There is a person we just moved down from Canada that we're trying to get established there, named Colin Munn. There's the Tailgaters. There's well, Lonnie Mack lives there now, of all people. He's quite serious, we could say. See, the thing is there's all these musicians that jam together and work with each other all the time. And it's incredible. It's incredible to see what goes on. You can go and see any number of bands collectively working with each other. It's not just one band or the other. It's all these people working together. Denny Freeman is probably one of the mainstays, as well as my brother. My brother is probably the biggest Texas guitar influence that I know of, Jimmy Vaughan.
What is it about, and it seems from all that I've read and the time that I've spent in Austin, there seems to be a real sense of community among Texas musicians. I mean, the competition, I'm certain, is there, but it seems like people are willing to play together and jam together and teach each other and support each other.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. If we can't pull each other up and help each other along, then we're not doing anything. You know, what good is a king without a throne? You know, what are you going to do? You gonna just keep it all? Why not spread it around and help each other, pull each other up?
Now, do you think that this sense of community is particularly a Texas thing? Have you ever felt it anyplace else you were?
Not to the same degree. There is, I'm sure that it is happening in places that people are less known, you know, they know less about, like say Little Rock, Arkansas, places like that where people like Larry Davis is from. Who, by the way, it was admitted from the first copy of this record on the liner notes. Without him, there would have been no Ain't Gonna Give Up on Love. He's a very influential person. He's a very, very incredible singer, incredible guitar player, drummer, writer. There are these community things that go. I mean, this group effort goes on in a lot of places, all over the country. At least all over the country, but I've never seen quite such a large number of people working for it as in Austin.
Is there any sort of fear among you guys who live in Austin that it's going to get too big, it's going to lose its charm, it's going to become too commercial? Do you worry about that, or you just not think about it?
No, we're waiting for it to come first. If it gets too big, we'll move somewhere else.
Texas is a big state.
Yes, it is.
A real big
There is
state.
room to move.
There is room. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. I think perhaps it is that bigness of Texas that makes the people so special and so strong, I think.
Well, there's bigness of hearts there.
Yeah. There's no doubt about that. How many clubs are there? How many clubs, and what are the major clubs in Austin?
That's kind of hard to say. The clubs come and go a lot of times. There are a few of them that stay. The main one I could talk about would be Anton's. It's probably the strongest one that I know of there. There are other places like the Back Room see, all the clubs there, or not all of them, but most of them let you play the type of music you want. Anton's brings in people that would not have a gig in Texas. I mean, from other states. They bring them in from Chicago, like the Buddy Guy and Junior Wells and Albert King, Albert Collins, B.B. King. They bring in people like Hank Ballard. They bring in people, like Barbara Lynn, that would not necessarily be heard in Austin or in anywhere in Texas that I know of, really, because they still care about the music. Clifford is he's grown a lot. He's had access to these clubs that he's brought about, and he's used them in the right way. He's brought them into being. Angela's done a lot herself. Denny Freeman, George Raines, Sarah Brown, God, Pat Whitefield, my brother's band. There's a lot of musicians down there. I mean, it's ridiculous. There's all these musicians. I can't name them all, and they all pull for each other, and they all pull for the club, and they make quite a bit of sense.
Let's talk about your brother for a little while.
Yeah.
Okay. He certainly has been an influence on a lot of other people. Is he a big influence in your life?
He's the biggest influence I've got.
I have to stop you for a second.
Can I have a break too?
Oh, good. Good. Because people won't be hearing my voice. We need to, when you answer questions for me, when I say, like, let's talk about your brother, was he a big influence on your life? Try to pick up my last, like, say, my brother was. Can we try that?
Okay, you won't have any inserted questions?
No. People won't be listening to me at all.
I ain't used to that one.
It's all you.
I'm supposed to be doing a monologue, huh? Oh. You gonna give me some money? Oh.
No, but we're gonna give you a pizza.
Okay, I'll eat my money.
Okay.
I'll eat my bread.
Let's try this. Let's try this.
Is it okay to smoke?
Sure.
Okay, where did I get this cigarette from? Should I light it?
On camera?
For
No.
continuity?
No.
No.
No? Okay.
No, we'll be okay. We'll just put a little super on the bottom that says, Stevie Ray just lit a cigarette.
How many? Last night somebody handed me a diet cigarette, Diet Salem. So I lit 2, smoked 2 for it, but it still wasn't enough.
You know the little knob that you spot and flood it with? Push it to flood all the way. It's only gonna take a second.
Yeah, if the pizza comes, can we break for a second?
Is the pizza here? Yes. Let's give him a slice of pizza. Let's pause for a second.
Can we? Great. You get one too? Yeah, I was looking for a piece of paper, not a snake.
You opened your drawer and there was a 5.5-foot snake?
At least.
What kind of snake?
Copperhead rattler.
Holy
Excuse me, cottonmouth.
Holy moles.
Yeah.
Those things aren't
We
pleasant.
shot him at least 4 times with a .357 Magnum, and he got mad.
Oh my God.
I'm serious. He stood up about this high and went and split and went back under my house.
You never killed it?
No, he shot it 4 times.
Oh.
At least, maybe 5.
Oh God.
I mean, it's kind of hard to miss a snake from here to your knee with a .357.
Oh.
357's a big gun.
God, yeah. Oh.
There were guts and everything all over the drawers, but it was like he didn't care.
And he just
It
went.
just made him mad.
That's scary.
And they travel in pairs.
Oh, good, good.
We never found the other one.
I'd have some serious work done underneath my house, I think.
Find somebody to do it.
Yeah. Whew.
You know. I'm serious. Well, excuse me, first thing in the morning.
Just open the drawer and there it
I mean, I opened the door like this, you know, and it went, oh, yeah.
God.
All I saw was this big part. It went all the way across and all the way back across the drawer. Never saw anywhere even tapered down at all.
Oh, God.
You know, I saw the middle part that was about like this, and here's about like so.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, in the top drawer.
In the top
I
drawer.
mean, we killed the desk.
The desk is dead, the snake is alive and well. Ooh.
Lonnie, when we were doing that record with, I was doing that record with Lonnie Mac, they killed a rattle, cut his head off. 2 days later, well, a day and a half, I was gonna look and see how, you know, how big it was. The snake was still moving out of the, and see, they don't die right away. He had no head, but he was, when I touched his rattler and his hind end, the snake went like this. It went like curled up, and it had no head. He gutted it and skinned it. The heart was still beating by itself sitting over there. Snakes are strange.
That is strange.
It takes them a long time to die. I don't know what the deal is. I don't want to mess with them too much.
No, I don't want to be the one who has to find out.
I don't like them.
Whoa.
I don't go for it too much.
Ooh, are we ready?
Imagine a snake standing up and going,
No.
after you've done, should have been dead. You know?
Whoa.
I mean, I wouldn't be alive if somebody shot me 5 times
No,
or
I
4
don't.
times.
I don't think so. With a .357 at close range.
With hollow points.
Phew. Let's talk about something more pleasant. We ready,
Yeah,
Ronald?
sherbet.
Oh, we're rolling. So we have this snake story. Well, great. I think we'll find a place for it.
Yeah, well, did I curse?
Okay. Eddie
Y'all
Murphy
can bleep
just
me,
said,
huh?
Eddie Murphy just said fuck on MTV the other day.
Did
so I
he?
guess we can get by with almost anything. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's come to that.
Well, Bill Cosby said no. Shh. Shh. I shouldn't say that.
Let's talk about your brother.
Yes.
Yeah. I know he's been a big influence on a lot of other guitar players. Was your brother a big influence on you?
He's the biggest one I know of. He's responsible for me hearing everything from Lonnie Mack, Jimi Hendrix, Buddy Guy, B.B. King, Albert King, Freddie King, Grant Green, Kenny Burrell, Wes Montgomery. I mean, we could go on and on and on and on. Django Reinhardt. My brother was incredible about finding the right things to listen to. A lot of times before it was actually out for the public. I don't know how he'd find it. He just does. He still has more sense about what to find to listen to for influences than anybody I know.
Is he the reason why you played guitar?
Yeah. Yeah. He's the one that got me started. He was very smart about how he did it. You know, don't touch him, and leave him out.
What's the name of his band and what are they like?
They're called the Fabulous Thunderbirds. His name's Jimmy Vaughan. What do they like, or how do they sound?
How do they sound?
No, well, they're probably misunderstood as much as any band I know. They have the strongest sense of pure rhythm and blues of any band that I know. That's of our generation. They also have no intention of stopping there. People think that they're, a lot of people are getting over some things like calling the blues quaalude music, It's not that way at all. It's really to soothe. Blues are either to soothe you because you understand the same storyline, because it's the same as yours, worse than yours, or a happier story than yours. And the music is the most important part of it, really, that gives it a vehicle. It's all feeling. And the Thunderbirds have definitely got more feeling than most people I know.
How often do you play with them?
Every chance I get. As well as with Albert King, or Albert Collins, or Lonnie Mack, or Robert Cray, B.B. King. I mean, those people are, it's an incredible feeling to be able to play with them. Because it's all get it and go.
Are you still a student?
Of course, if I
Sorry.
stop.
Oh, you have to change tapes.
If I stop. And the way it read was that Tommy and Chris had just got married. Sorry, girls.
We set? Okay. How does your guitar player vary from Jimmy's? I forgot your
My
brother's
guitar
name.
player?
Your guitar playing vary from Jimmy's.
Well, I'm me and he was him.
Well.
Basically, there's one similarity. He played everything that he ever heard that excited him. I play everything that I ever heard excited me. And obviously, I do respect him very, very much. He was not only his music, but his life was very much of an influence more so the good points than the bad. I don't believe that. I don't believe that he died because he was a druggie. I believe that he had a little help because he scared too many people. We'll leave it there.
Are you still a student?
If I'm not, I'll quit. If I quit learning, I'll stop. Period.
Okay. For some reason, there seem to be a lot of Texas guitar players. Can you spot a Texas guitar player just by
Sure.
hearing him? Do you know how?
Yeah. There's not a how, it's just you hear it. There's a lot of gut feeling there. And I'm glad to say, this may sound funny to a lot of Texas people, I'm glad to see that's spreading out to other places, that influence. Not just throughout the States, but throughout the world. There are people that are really, honestly understanding what's going on and picking up on those feelings and that sound, that influence, and carrying it out.
Have you ever noticed in your travels how everybody in foreign countries thinks that all people from America are from Texas?
Good. Well,
Exactly.
good in a way.
Yeah.
But that was terrible. There is this affinity between, especially Europe and Texas, because a lot of the music that was really studied by during the English blues boom was from Texas. At least as much as what went on in Mississippi, around Memphis, around Chicago. There's a lot that went on. A lot of people moved from the South up there to the other places. Texas and Louisiana is where it really started in the first place. Everybody moved up because there was more chance to make a living of any kind. John Lee Hooker is not from Detroit. These Muddy Waters was not from Chicago. Those are great places. They're great places to keep this music alive. But they moved there from the South.
Let's talk about Lonnie Mack a little bit.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Lonnie Mack. Huh.
How'd you first meet him? How'd all this come about?
Well, actually, the first record I ever bought myself was a 45. The Wham was the A-side by Lonnie Mack. On Fraternity Records, it was out in '63. I was a little guy about this big. I worked and worked and worked and worked on that record, I learned it right. When I first met Lonnie Mack, I was playing at a place called the Roam Inn, which is where I got engaged, got married. Spent half of that part of my life, at least, probably 3/4 of it. Thank God for C-Boy. We played the second quarter of the Wham as Lonnie Mack walked in the door. He just stopped and looked at his friend and said, "I didn't know I was playing tonight." It was great. It worked out real well. We got to sit down and talk. Beaver and Wally were there the same night too. It was quite a night. He walked in, heard us play the Wham. We finished the set, went over and talked to him. He wanted to produce us. His partner, Ed, I forget his last name, I apologize about that, but they had wanted to produce us. And this was in '79, I guess. Things ended up working out where Lonnie moved down to Texas and had gone through some health problems while he was there. He was living in a school bus, his tour bus. Him and his kids and his wife out on Lake Travis. And we got the chance to do a benefit for him, help him with some of the finances of his. He had heart problems for a while, which, by the way, he's doing lots better with. It ended up where Alligator Records contacted me and wanted me to produce or co-produce a record with him. And all it was to me was just a pleasure. You know, it was like an honor. We got to do this record. Had more fun than I've had in years. The only problem with it is that because of the size of the label, it's no fault of theirs, but because of the size of the label, they did not have the funds to compete with the big companies, because they can't guarantee shipments. You have to pay for the records that you get first from the company. Or Lonnie's record would have been a smash. Lonnie lives, as a crow flies, probably 20 miles from me. We're very good friends. We see each other as much as possible. He's like somewhere between my daddy, my brother, and my best friend.
It's wonderful.
And that's, yeah. God bless Lonnie Mac.
Good. Good, that's great.
Now, you are going to do a show with him, aren't you? I mean this.
Is this recording?
I hope so.
We're trying. His manager contacted me about a month ago and
Hobie
said,
Camp.
huh?
John?
Yeah, and said, let's start talking about doing a tribute to Lonnie Mac. And we're trying to get it in the works.
You've got my help any way I can.
Okay, it's a deal. We'll try to get this going. You know, last year we did a show that on guitar greats, you know, with great guitar players. And we wanted to do something similar this year, and I think it would be kind of nice just to try to, instead of just calling it Guitar Greats 2, trying to work it around Lonnie.
Yeah. And you got to do one for Albert King. You got to do one for
Albert Collins.
Albert Collins. We can get going here.
We can get some great guitar players. I've actually done shows with both of them, done TV shows with both of them, and I agree with you. You know?
There are a lot of guitar players that Cornel Dupree.
Mm-hmm.
People seem to have maybe forgotten a little bit about him, as well as other musicians like Donny Hathaway.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be mentioned a lot of places, because that's soul music.
Yeah, yeah.
Soulville. And there's a lot of people can't forget.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
we haven't got time to do that right now, all of it, because
no.
I'll go on for all day.
but we'll do it some other time.
Yes.
How's that?
You got it.
I understand you're trying to put together a documentary piece about the blues
With Buddy Guy.
with Buddy Guy.
Actually, I'm just helping. I've been asked to do what I can do in a thing called How the Blues Gave Birth to Rock with Buddy Guy and Friends. It's a how-to video, basically. And thank God that somebody's looking at Buddy Guy and going, yeah.
Yeah.
The only problem is, not with that particular one, but nobody's done something like that with Hubert Sumlin, who is the driving force behind Howlin' Wolf, who's never, ever had his name on a Howlin' Wolf record. He wrote a lot of those songs. Nobody ever mentioned his name. Hubert Sumlin actually wrote Killin' Floor.
Amazing.
Hubert Sumlin is my twin brother.
I actually had Hubert Sumlin on a TV show with Buddy Guy and Junior Wells and Albert King.
Great. Hubert Sumlin is he's like my flip side twin brother. We're exactly the same size, hat size, clothes size. He calls me his little brother.
That's
or
great.
actually, I call him my little brother. This is as a flip flop. Hubert's probably the most original blues guitar player I know. If you think about it, you'll understand why.
Okay.
I mean, who else could play like rubber bands all the time? Hubert's wonderful. I haven't seen him in too long.
Really? How long's it been?
Oh, probably 5, 6 months.
Where does he live now?
Well, I thought he had moved to Austin, but he's running around the country somewhere.
You recently said, "I'm glad to see the blues getting the recognition it deserves."
Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
I think the world's lucky to know and feel it.
It kind of all started
I
there,
think it's an
didn't it?
honor for the world to know and feel the blues, because it's not the devil's music. It's just, that's what it was called by people who wanted to keep black people down. Thank God for John Hammond. He made us white people know what blues is.
What's it like working with John Hammond?
It's one of the most wonderful things anybody could ever know. He never tries to tell you what to do. He tries to keep the fact that you're caring about your music alive. He likes to let all the musicians always play their own music. He never tries to tell you how to do it. He only tries to make sure that you stay with your own music. That's what a producer should be. Make the musician have a record like he wants to sound.
Great. Let's talk about some other Texas type things that we're going to be including in this show, and see what you have to say about them. Are you at all knowledgeable about the early history of Texas music? You know, Gene Autry and Bob Wills and that type of sounds. And do you have any sort of thoughts about them?
Yeah, the Texas Playboys used to come over and play 42 with my parents. That's where Jimmy and I got our first influences. I'm serious. It was quite incredible. There was some pretty wild 42 parties. I mean, people. There was. I was very young. I remember being asked to come out, and my brother and I come out and play for these people. And we were trying to figure something out. We didn't really know what to do yet. We'd come out and do the best we could. But there were, by the way, my mother's a 42 queen. Are you familiar with 42?
I play a mean game of 42.
You play 84, low boy?
Yep.
Wow, okay.
I play every Christmas when I go home and see my family.
All right. That's where a lot of what we do came from. A guy named Robert Louis Stevenson, if you remember him, from Jacksboro Highway. He and Ray Sharp, Razor Blades. A lot of these bands, they were early influences. Robert Louis Stevenson showed me me and Jimmy, as far as I know, showed us our first boom, 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 bop, bop, rock and roll licks. I'll never forget Jimmy sitting down on Robert Louis Stevenson's drums at his house and learning his first drum things.
Amazing.
You know, there's been, it goes way back. I was about 7 or so. 6, 7, maybe 8. The first picture of Jimmy and I playing was in '62, March the 3rd, '62.
You got a copy of that I can use on the show?
Yes.
Okay. How about Buddy Holly? Is he an influence on you at all?
Yes. From more of a distance. I mean, just by radio and.
Excuse me,
I
I need to stop. Can you say Buddy Holly was?
Okay.
Okay.
Run it. Oh.
Okay.
I'm doing okay, Charlie? I'm doing all right?
You doing okay, Charlie?
No, I said, am I doing okay, Charlie?
I think you're doing great. You're making me happy.
Okay.
And comfortable.
All right. Buddy Holly was definitely an influence, but it was more of it from a distance, because when I first heard him, I'd never been to Lubbock. I've never been around there. It's a strange place to come from. But it seems to work for him, Joe Ely, Jesse, a lot of people. It's not my favorite place to go, but I guess if you came from there, it's got its points.
Do you think that Buddy Holly was a big hero to Texas music fans in general?
Of course, he was probably the first. I hate to go to colors. I hate to go to skin colors because that's something that we've got to eliminate. Not just ignore, but eliminate. You know, but there were periods of time when those things mattered a lot to people. He was the first white person to play the Apollo, and that was a major step for us white folks.
Do you have any feelings about what you think, what direction Buddy Holly's music would have gone in had he lived?
We'd gone on and on.
Okay. What about the Willie Whalen, Jerry Jeff, the Outlaw faction? Are you a fan of this type of music? Or?
That music is all wonderful. It's just it's a shame that country music had to outlaw some of its greatest people in the first place because they were not hiding some of the points that their more upper crust wanted to hide. Period.
Okay. We'll turn the page.
Okay.
Do you have any memories of Texas rock and roll in the 60s, of the Bobby Fuller Four, for instance?
The early 60s?
Yeah.
My memories of that were Johnny G and the G-Men, the Glory Tones, Floyd Dackel and the K-Box Combo, Heights Theater, the Gentlemen, the Chessmen, let's see, Sammy Laurie, the Penetrations. We can go on and on. There were some incredible bands. That was, that's the way I remember that part of it.
Okay.
And that was around 63, 64s.
Have you ever run into or had any association with Doug Somm?
Of course. He's a walking dictionary. A walking music library, I should say. He's a good friend.
Yeah. Do you have any idea where he is today? No one can find him.
I have no idea. I think he's probably somewhere in Europe.
That's about as definitive as anyone is going to get.
Well, I think he's trying to stay that way.
Yeah, I guess so, because no one knows where he is that I can find.
I can find him.
Okay, you ready, Ronald? Okay, let's go. How about ZZ Top? Are you a fan?
Good friends too.
Yep. Can you explain their success?
Who can? They've done quite a bit. There's a lot of factors. I wouldn't even try to say what all of them are. A lot of it has to do with just from the beginning, especially from the beginning, playing raw, three-piece, rock and roll. Now, it's moved into other directions, and I'm not sure. I haven't heard the new record even. I haven't heard the new thing. I've heard different opinions of it. I don't know what the new thing is. I do know that they're all very nice people. I've known them for years and years and years. Billy's done a lot of things for a lot of us that were coming up. He used to rent like buses and ship 2 or 3 busloads of people to go see the Thunderbirds, just for fun. You know, he does quite a few things to help people. He gives the guitars away like crazy. And thank you, Billy. He gave me a guitar that I never got a chance to thank him for in person. I still haven't. It's been years. So.
Stevie, do you think there's a Texas sound?
Sure there is.
How would you describe it?
Real.
Okay.
Ask anybody.
I think there is. The rest is the blues stuff, and I'd like to do that downstairs. Let's do the opening up here, though, okay?
Y'all tell me when things are rolling.
We are rolling?
We'll be able to speed now.
Okay, let's go.
Hi, this is Stevie Ray Vaughan. Tonight on Rock Influences, we'll be looking at and listening to the music of my home state, the state of Texas, the country of Texas.
That's great. Let's do one more just for protection, Steve.
Just for protection? I feel like I'm reading to the right of the camera. I feel like I'm reading over.
Okay.
And it probably looks like it. Yeah, I mean, I can.
Just don't lift it up. Oops, sorry about that.
Let's see. If you can put it above it,
Would it be better?
yeah, I think so, because. Let's see.
Is the glare on it at all? Let's see.
The problem is, I may start going, and we'll be looking at it. Let's see.
Wherever's comfortable for you.
Let's see. But now, does it look like I'm looking to the right now?
No, because we're in a long shot, Stevie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You can't see me doing this?
No.
You sure?
Well, sort of, but try not to do it too much.
Okay, I'll try to use that that wide angle in my eyes. Hi, this is Stevie Ray Vaughan. Tonight we'll be on Rock Influence. Excuse me. Hello, everybody. This is Stevie Ray Vaughan. Tonight on Rock Influences, we'll be looking at and listening to some music from our home state, the country of Texas.
Nice. Very, very nice.
Oh, but
You have a problem, Ronald?
Stevie, unfortunately, you're creaking your chair.
Oh, yeah. This?
Yeah.
Oh, what's wrong with that, man?
Well, it's natural.
Okay, that's a creaky chair, man. It's not my fault.
Joy, can you give him another one then?
Well, I'll try to be still.
Okay.
We're still rolling.
Hello, everybody. This is Stevie Ray Vaughan, and tonight on Rock Influences, we'll be looking at and listening to some music from my home state, the country of Texas.
Perfect. Okay, next.
Is that a wrap
So
up
we're
here?
gonna.
No, I want to do that second piece up here.
Excellent.
Hey!
Okay.
All right.
Ready?
I guess I shouldn't get too relaxed.
Ooh, get rid of that sound.
Everything about the state of Texas is big and diverse and impossible to ignore. And that certainly extends to its influence in popular music.
That's a wrap.
No, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Whoop. Whoop.
You ready?
Can we have quiet down there, please?
No flossing. Are we ready?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Everything about the state of Texas is big and diverse and impossible to ignore. And that certainly extends to its influence in popular music. That sounds stupid.
Let's try one more. There was some noise downstairs.
No, that was my chair.
Oh,
See?
we're gonna
I feel like I sound like I'm reading.
No, you don't. Actually, you don't. I would tell you. Paraphrase it. Say what you want to say.
Everything in the state of Texas is big and diverse and impossible to ignore. Don't forget it. And that certainly extends to the influence of popular music.
I like that. Let's do one more.
No, I like that. Fuck it. Not that one. Everything in the state. Hey, stop it, Charlie. If you start going, I can't quit. Okay. Did you like what I said at the bar? Charlie, you bit me. Okay, I'm back. Number 2. Oh. Okay. Everything in the state of Texas is big and diverse and impossible to ignore. And that certainly extends to the influence of... Wait a minute. Okay. Here goes. I'm getting the giggles, excuse me. And my chair's going worse and worse. My chair's getting worse and worse. It's going to go squeaky, squeaky. Why do we have to do another one?
Just one more.
Squeaky too. Everything about the state of Texas is big and diverse and impossible to ignore. Don't forget it. And that certainly extends to the influence of popular music.